Ah, there we go. That is enough. 30 rupees. So, allow me to say... Hello everyone, Treecks here. Welcome to part 3 of The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. Last time we actually got introduced to the dungeon system in this game. 8 essences of time we need to find. And for that we actually received these babies. Ember seeds. After talking to the love of our life, the Maku tree. We need these in order to enter the area where the first dungeon is going to be hidden. A location called Yoll Graveyard. However, it's actually blocked off by a small tree, and that we need to be able to burn. We also need to find ourselves enough rupees to buy the first item in this game, and that's why I'm grinding for rupees right now. Bam! Dug up the entire screen. I'm proud of myself. But anyway, I actually only needed 30. Like we saw in the first part, there is a shield for sale here in the item shop. Might as well buy that as our first item in this game. 30 rupees for a wooden shield. You got a wooden shield. Let's go show off how it works. If you're familiar with the mechanics of Link's Awakening, this should look familiar to you. Once we have our shield equipped to our item button, we can press that item button and hold the shield in front of us. It can actually block light attacks for us. And be careful, it's wooden, so don't block any fire with it. At least we can scratch that off our to-do list as well. We've got the first shield in the game. Now, it is time for us to move on to the first dungeon. Try to actually make that work in this episode. Yoll Graveyard. Let's go see where we can find that. While passing through this area in the first episode, we did see a small tree actually blocking a certain pathway. Oh, and speaking of checking places out, there's one thing I never really covered. The map of this game. You can press the select button and you will open up the map of this game. We will try to fill it out entirely while going through this game. Yoll Graveyard to the right. As if I knew this was going to be here. Normally this is a tree we cannot work with. However, now we have stuff to burn. The ember seeds are precisely meant for stuff like this. And this is going to open up the first dungeon area of this game. Let's see if we can find ourselves a dungeon. Let's not go here. This looks like something we cannot cross. Not even remotely. Let's go check out over here. Ooh, there's a huge gate here. With a lock. Huh? This is a keyhole. And therefore, there should also be a key around here somewhere. There's also a ghost over there. A Poe, like it is called in the Zelda lore. However, we cannot access it from here. Oh, what do we have here? No way! It's too scary! It's pitch black inside that grave beneath the tree. Shut up! It's no good if you get scared. Besides, it might come out. The ghost! And bye! Predictable reaction. However, apparently there's something hidden in the grave underneath the tree. And that piece of heart is something we cannot grab. There's a rock in front of it. And that's something we cannot burn. Or do anything else with. The shovel also does not help. Oh, I see a dungeon over there. But there's also 2 small trees here. And underneath one of them is indeed a grave, just like the kids talked about. And what they also said is that it is pitch black in here. And that is also true. If you look closely, you can see the pathway. However, what you're supposed to do is actually light this torch. This torch needs lighting, it says. The moment we actually put an ember seed in it, it will light the torch and light up the room. And lighting up both of them will make a key drop. Pretty predictable what that key is going to be, right? You got the graveyard key. And we already saw where we're going to use it. It's not a big surprise here. Let's quickly make our way back. Ignore the heart piece for now, unfortunately. Also the soft soil location here. We currently have a whole 0 gacha seeds, so we cannot use the soft soil spot either. If we can open up this gate and enter dungeon number 1 of The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages. Oh, there's also a house over there. However, we cannot swim, so also inaccessible. Just remember, there is something here. We'll be checking out that place much later. Oh, thank you for the rupee. More of these birds. Ow. I'm really dying here. I only have 3 hearts, so I need to be careful. Dying is always really easy to do early on in a Zelda game. Oh, and this is actually how we get to the ghost. However, that is also blocked by a rock. It might say something about the dungeon item, it might also not. But speaking of dungeon item, for that we need to go into the dungeon itself, of course. Let's get ready for dungeon number 1 in The Legend of Zelda number 7. Or number 8, depending on which order you play these 2 games in. Level 1 is called Spirit's Grave. I feel like I'm being watched. Let's go right first. I should be able to play these dungeons without any notes or maps. I've done them enough times in my life, I think. Yeah, killing all enemies will open the door. However, we want to go up first, of course. Oh yeah, these puzzles. These can be annoying later on in the game. Starts off easy, of course. For right now, we actually want the blue tile to end up. And therefore, all we have to do is push it up and nothing more. That will light the blue flames and open up the doors. But do remember these kinds of puzzles. They can be really annoying later on. Where you actually need to push the block through the entire room to actually get the right tile upward. The moment you roll it onto the switch. Let's go get this chest over here. Dungeon map, get. Press select to see it. Darkened rooms are ones you have not been to yet. Only 1 floor. Not a very big surprise. This first dungeon is not very big. We've only been to 3 rooms. And the moment you've been to a room, it will light up. It's pretty basic stuff how maps work. Let's go back to the room we were just at. So now I'd like to go up, actually. Over here. Push you. This will actually lock us out of the top pathway, but we can actually get the compass. Use it to track your position, locate chests and find keys. And to the right is a locked door, so we're forced back. I can show off the compass, of course. As you can see, the location of the boss of this place and the location of all of the chests are now revealed on the map. And don't forget about the feature that was also present in Link's Awakening, that the jingle will play the moment you are in a room where a key is present. That is also present here in the Oracle games. Even in that sense, this game makes use of the mechanics of Link's Awakening. This is the final pathway we haven't been to yet on this side, so let's go here now. Kill the Stalfos, and... okay, nothing, so... let's go on. Oh, there it is! Toot 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 toot! There's a key in this room. And for that we need to solve a puzzle. Okay, there's a ghost in this room, so let's kill you first. Don't go in the wall, I can reach you there. Okay, that will open up the door. And we'll also drop the key. Okay, easy puzzle, we'll just kill the ghost. Nothing more. Oh, and that will lead us here. Which is perfect, because now we can push the block this way. And with that open the pathway up, which was previously blocked. It's also blocked by a lock, but for that we have a key. In here we want to go right first, because we need to get ourselves a key. In this chest over here. Small key number 2 for this dungeon. Let's move on further left. We also can't go up here. Similar to rocks, pots is also something we cannot work with yet. We can only push them, but not lift them or destroy them. In this case we don't have to, because we can go around. Over here is continuation, however we don't want to go in here yet. First we want to go to this corridor, because there's another key we need to obtain. Just like the jingle says, there's a key. Yeah, this is our way out of here. switch. It will form a bridge, which is luckily moving. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to work with it. And the switch on the other side will actually make the key appear. Yeah. Let's see if we can do this fancy. Maybe not. Ah, it was worth a shot. You've got to hand me that at least. Small key number 3. And the second one we were actually carrying. Because we already used one. Now, we want to go back to the pathway I just talked about. Continuation. I see another square over there, so there's also going to be an item to appear. So let's go get there. Over there's the switch. Push. Chests. Next key. No, this is a gacha seed. Well, fortunately there is a soft soil spot right outside of the dungeon. It's perfect, we can place it there. We need to start hard piece grinding quite early in this game. The bigger the chances we are actually going to be able to find it. Hard piece is definitely the most difficult item to get from the gacha seeds. Oh, and what do we have here? Oh, mini-boss! Come on, go away. Some sort of big ghost. And a couple of smaller ghosts actually accompanying him. Yeah, you can see the moment the small ghosts touch you, you will actually lose your control. You will not be able to attack anymore. So make sure that does not happen. Especially since he always comes in the moment you are stunned for a moment. Spin! No you don't. There we go. Mini-boss defeated. And just like in Link's Awakening, he will drop a fairy and also a portal that will warp you back to the beginning of the dungeon. Also, a returning mechanic from Link's Awakening. The dungeons in this game are just Link's Awakening dungeons. What do we have here? A couple of moblins. Go away. Still no dungeon item yet. Usually you actually find the dungeon item after a mid-boss. But that's tradition in Zelda, but not per se here, as you can see. The dungeon does go on for a bit before we actually find anything. Like this. Chest here. And no jingle, so it's not going to be a key. It's promising. It's actually something better. Oh, but unfortunately it is blocked off by pots, so we cannot access it yet. We are forced to move on. And here. Okay, it's pretty obvious what we need to do here. That will form a staircase. And that will actually make a reference to the first Zelda game. Remember how we actually got the dungeon items in the very first Zelda game? In the 2D section, which is actually designed in this form. We get the power bracelet. Hold the button and press the D-pad to lift heavy objects. Awesome little throwback to the first game. Capcom apparently couldn't resist. I can already give away that's not going to be a standard thing. It's only going to be happening in this dungeon. However, it does give us the dungeon item. The power bracelet. And just like in Link's Awakening, it allows us to lift stuff. Which was before too heavy for us to lift. Like pots, for instance. So, first thing on the agenda. Actually get the chest we couldn't get earlier. And this one over here. And it will actually be a ring. Let's get it appraised later. I'm pretty sure this is not a random ring. This is always going to be the same one. Because of it being in a chest in a dungeon. I'm pretty sure those are always going to be the same ones. I think this is a pressure switch actually. We'll try it out. Yeah, it is. It will only stay pressed if something is on it. But that something does not have to be us. Remember that from earlier Zelda games. This pot we can actually push around. And that we can actually push onto the switch. And it is heavy enough to actually keep it pressed. Awesome. I think there's going to be a key in that chest over there. I always really love killing enemies with these pots. Always feels so satisfying. Right, let's go grab ourselves the key. Oh, it's not just any key, it's the boss key. Also important to get, of course. Oh, and that will actually lead us back to the beginning again. Awesome. So we can immediately start working on the dungeon again, only this time with Power Bracelet equipped. And see what we can do that we previously couldn't. Nothing new here. But there is going to be something new over there. Now that we have the Power Bracelet, we can actually get ourselves an extra item. That is actually hidden right over here. This is actually a hidden room. We can burn this thing over here. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but we can burn it. And that will actually lead us to a secret room. I'm pretty sure... Okay, I was convinced we needed the Power Bracelet in here, but now that I see it, I'm pretty sure we don't. This is a room we could have done earlier, apparently. But it does lead us to a ring. Therefore, still need to pick it up. I'm not too sure why I thought you needed a Power Bracelet in here, but scratch that, that is not true. Now let's go over here. Go away, stupid keys. Now let's go check out this area. Last time we were here, we actually went in the door below, going towards the mid-boss. Now we want to go over here. Because here is the pathway towards the boss. Oh, hello. Sir? Go away. Remember these things from earlier Zelda games? Wall masters. They drag you back to the entrance of the dungeon, so be careful not to get grabbed by them. There's plenty of them, so don't hang around for too long here. Let's just go to the boss. Okay, you look interesting. Pumpkinhead. Oh, you start jumping around, be careful. Need to hit his body. Eventually... Yeah, you will drop his head. And reveal it's just a simple ghost underneath it. Just pick up his head and throw it to him. That's how you damage him. Pretty easy first boss. Get over here, you coward. 2 hits is enough. Really easy for a first boss. Even for a first boss, that is really easy. But just like any official Zelda boss in the dungeon, it will drop a heart container. Increasing our health with 1 heart. We now have 4. But the most important thing about these dungeons is its ultimate reward. The essences of time. We get the Eternal Spirit. An essence of time. Even after life ends, it speaks across time to the heart. And that concludes dungeon number 1. And the Maku tree will recover a bit of its lost memory and will speak to us. It's me, the Maku tree. I hear an essence echoing in the western woods. Can you go there? Next hint will lead us to the western woods. Thank you, Maku tree. However, we're first going to do something else. What is this music? What is this shadow? Oh, who are you? Some sort of witch? Ow! 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 Watch where you're going! You just hit Maple, the Great Witch's Syrup's apprentice. Thanks to you, all the stuff fell out of my bag. The Great Witch will be mad. And I have to get that picture book. Who could have that book? Well, it all made me mad. So I'm going to take your stuff too. Okay, say hello to Maple, everyone. She will randomly appear on the overworld and you'll be able to hit her. And if you do, you can actually get her stuff. But remember, she can also get your stuff. And also remember what she said about the picture book. At some point, we actually need to crash into her deliberately the moment we find a picture book. She did not mention that for nothing. And what's worse about her, similar to the gacha seeds, she also drops an ultimate reward. namely a piece of heart. And just like with gacha seeds, that is extremely rare. And therefore super annoying to get. Her appearing is already rare enough. And actually getting an ultimate reward from her, yeah, that is not going to be pretty. That is going to be one hell of a grind at some point, if I get unlucky. Let's go talk to you first, before actually worrying about Maple some more. Now that we have the ability to dispose of this rock. Someone finally came! This headstone blocks my path to the afterlife. I'm actually below here, right? I'd appreciate it if you could help me out. Oh, you weren't really here, you were actually below here. Then let's go talk to you this way. You must have moved my headstone. That means that I can move on to the afterworld. My heart lifts at the thought of it. Thanks. Is there more? You came out. Since I'm moving on, I don't need this anymore. Take it. I hope you can reach the afterworld soon too. I hope not. But at least we get the Poe clock. It lightens the heart. Well, the Poe clock. That's actually going to be the first trading item in this game. There's going to be a very long trading side quest in this game as well, just like in Link's Awakening. And just like in Ocarina of Time, that also returns in this game. A trading sequence. It starts off with the Poe clock. A couple of other items were already mentioned, I must admit. Oh, wait, there's a soft soil. Let's plant our gacha seed. Don't really have a whole lot of soft soil locations available right now, so might as well use this one. And might as well also grab this piece of heart. Okay, awesome. Did pretty much everything in the graveyard for now. And that is one awesome episode 3. And looking at my time, I think it's going to be enough for now. Let's make our way out of here. Oh, let's not forget to actually press the A button. And we are done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a good episode. Cleared the entire first dungeon in one episode time. And also did a couple of other neat things. We've also heard where the second dungeon is going to be, in the Western Woods. And that is something we'll be taking a look at next time. Thank you for watching, and see you in part 4 of The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages. Treecks out. Later, folks.